Hope you guys didn't miss me too much. I'd like to thank Spade for having done that narration for me. It was actually a really big help since I really wanted to narrate on Wednesday, but I was just not feeling good at all. I'm still not feeling terrific today, but I figure I can suck it up. Should be alright, good to go for today. So what's up, guys? Welcome to Friday's upload. I have a match for you today, a standard match against SuperMarioPoke. He was doing his little stream thing where he was trying to stream as long as possible. I think he ended up streaming over 2 days consecutively, which is nuts. So I started streaming at the same time he did. Someone suggested that we do a cross-stream match. So Variety had left the building at that point. I was like, you know what, I didn't even care. So we'll just, we'll go ahead and play that back right now. Alright, now looking at it, he's kind of brought like a pseudo-sand kind of thing. I see T-Tar, I see Rotom, I see Gliscor, I see Terrakion. Infernape and Latias seem kind of out of place for a sand team, but, you know, you do what you want. I recognize that, you know, Terrakion and Gliscor and T-Tar have their purposes. I just kind of slapped a bunch of things together, and I was hoping it would work, and it actually didn't turn out to be, you know, a horrible match. So he's going to lead with his Rotom. I'm actually going to go ahead and lead with my Terrakion right now. Now, seeing him lead with the Rotom, I'm thinking it's Scarf, so I'm actually going to go ahead and get out of there, go to my Ments. The problem with this is this lets him know that if he decides to go for the Scarf Will-O-Wisp, it'll let him know that I don't mind this thing being burned, just the fact that I brought it in like this. He does go for the Hydro Pump, which is nice, you know, not to over-predict too much. He could have gone for the burn relatively safely as well, but there's no way I'm going to switch in my Chandelure. I switch this thing in. This is my Specs Ments. He goes into his T-Tar, as I kind of predicted, which is why I go for the Hydro Pump now. End up missing. Doesn't play too big, but right now you'll see in the next couple turns that had my first Hydro Pump hit, I don't know if that would have, you know, pressured him into switching out after this point, knowing that he wouldn't live to set up the rocks, or, you know, anything of the sort. But seeing how much the Hydro Pump does, and if he's specially defensive like I think he is, and he might know he is depending on his actual build, but, you know, he should know that I'm Specs by now, so he actually just kind of leaves it in to die. I mean, he already got his rocks up, he got his weather up. That's all he really needs out of it, and, you know, having the switch initiative at this point will be a little bit more valuable to him. So, he goes into his Latias. I don't want to take a Dragon move or anything of the sort, or a Psychic move if he decides to, you know, try to predict that. I don't see him going for the Hidden Power Fire, or packing the Hidden Power Ground, or Fighting, or anything like that. Magnezone's a relatively safe switch to excuse me. So, I take the Draco Meteor. I don't take it as good as I thought I would, but I see lefties now, so that kind of eliminates that he's Scarf or Specs or anything like that. You know, that he's going to be getting too big of boost, so I can keep that in the back of my mind just in case, you know, any other scenario decides to pop up like that. So, he goes out and do his Rotom. Not exactly what I was predicting. I was kind of thinking he would go out to Gliscor right now for some reason. Even though I could have subbed, I don't know, just to force out Magnezone, just on the off chance he would have done that. It made sense to me at the time, probably wasn't the best thing. But I go out to Rachi. I might as well get some switch initiative here, go for the U-turn. Turns out I'm faster than him, which is a little unfortunate, but I'm actually just going to go right out into Ments, who, because of the rocks and the next attack, will die, which will actually, at the end of the turn, end up giving me the initiative, which is kind of what I wanted. I still have to deal with Rotom, but I'll deal with it when I deal with it, and I can just take on his next switch-in, so I'll just deal with it as I deal with it, as I mentioned like 5 or 6 times, whatever. He decides to go into Gliscor at this point. Now, I do have a Chandelure with Hidden Power Ice, which I don't think he knows or suspects that it has Hidden Power Ice. What I would have done here is I would have protected, but I can see why he didn't want to protect, because he already had his Toxic Orb up. Thing is that, you know, it's quad effective move, you know, Gliscor not really having a stellar Spec D. Takes it out in one shot, so had he protected, then he could have gone out to something else. Namely Rotom, thinking about it. That would have forced me out nicely, and because the rocks are up, I'm not going to like doing this thing too much. But I take out Gliscor, which is going to be a really, really, really big help for Terrakion. It means I can bring that thing in a little more freely. And as you're noticing, I did slap a lot of these things together, and I actually have a bit of a rocks weakness, which I'm not really liking, and going back to that thing with the T-Tar, the Hydro Pump miss is kind of, you know, bothering me a little bit more than I thought it would. Right now, I was kind of suspecting, and once again, because I'm not sober at all, I thought he would try to burn me as I, you know, would try to set up. I was expecting him to overpredict at that point, but it does give me switch advantage yet again, but at the cost of another one of my pokes, which is not something I really like doing. So, he goes out into his Infernape. As I go into my Chandelure right now, I might as well go for the Shadow Ball because I know that Infernape can't really touch me unless it has the Stone Edge. And some Chandelures I've seen actually run Psychic, so maybe he doesn't want to stay in for that. Either way, if I did have Psychic, that would have definitely helped because I would have done some really good damage to Terrakion. Looking at how much a Shadow Ball does, I'm pretty sure a super effective Psychic would have been a 2-hit KO. So, some people run it, some people don't. I used to run it. I don't anymore because I have Hidden Power Ice. But, you can see that Shadow Ball is going to be 3-hit KO as opposed to a 2-hit KO because of the Sandstorm, and because of that, I end up, dying from Stone Edge. Looking at it, I really could have kept better care of that, but the thing is I didn't know whether or not I was going to take another Rock Switch in, or whether or not I was going to get another safe switch in with Chandelure for that matter. So, right here I make another stupid play. I'm not paying attention because my friend's talking to me, and I didn't see that this Terrakion happened to be Life Orb. Now, Magnezone actually would have helped me a decent amount near the end of the game, but the thing is now I lose it because of an absolutely stupid mistake. I thought he was banded or scarfed or something of the sort. I wasn't paying attention. But I still have a Scarfrachi, so it's not over just yet. I'm going to go for the Iron Head, take him out just because super effective and stab and all that stuff. I don't really need to explain myself too much. Problem is now that I've locked myself in a Rotom, locked myself in an Iron Head, his Rotom can come in, quad resist it. I won't be doing too much. I'm kind of banking on flinches here. The thing is I don't get it, and he hits his Hydro Pump. So I can't have this happen again on this next turn. I have to flinch him to death, or I have to have him miss a Hydro Pump or something like that. So go for Iron Head. Doesn't take him out, but he does miss his Hydro Pump, which kind of makes up for that beginning thing, but I'm still in a little bit of an uphill scenario right here, and I don't really know how I'm going to end up pulling this out. So I do get the flinch here finally, which means that this Rotom is dead. I think that was a 3 or 4 hit KO after Sandstorm damage, which Sandstorm actually does help out a lot. If it was just regular damage, I would have been here a while. Anyways, he goes into Infernape right now. I don't know whether or not he has the Mach Punch. I might as well try flinching this thing out. I have a Terrakion left, and I think that's the only thing I have left. And I want my Terrakion to be somewhat fresh, since, I can kind of see that, well, I can see now that he's Life Orb. And because of that, and he's not banded, I should be able to take it from this range of health. It's stab and everything like that, but, Terrakion's got a considerable amount of bulk. It's not fragile by any means. So, I go for the Stone Edge right here. I am banded, but I go for the Stone Edge as opposed to the close combat. Just in case he's actually running a bulkier Latias. I know I saw Draco Meteor, but I saw Lefties too, which I still don't really know the rest of its set. So I'm kind of hoping that he's not faster, but he actually is faster, and he's going to take me out with the Psy Shock, which will leave him with the, I believe that was a 1-0, so that wasn't really too terribly played. A little bit of a shorter game, but I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. If you guys did, you're welcome to leave a like rating, comment, subscribe, do your thing. That should do it out of me. I got a couple errands I got to run later today, but I do want to stream either later tonight or early tomorrow. Do some stuff on the weekends. I got a big-ass Ethernet cable, so my streams hopefully won't be lagging anymore since I can be directly hooked in with that gigantic 50-foot cable. But I also tried something new with today's upload. I left battle music and sound effects. I used just sound effects yesterday, so if you guys, like that, let me know. If you don't, this is still kind of a trial thing. With a decent match, so at least you can come out of it saying, hey, I like the battle at least. So, we got that going on. I'm probably going to work on TCGO later. I do have a couple matches recorded. I just got to narrate them and then get them to you guys. Probably got to work on LP2. And I think that should do it out of me for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed. And I will see you either tonight, tomorrow, or if you miss me, then on Monday.